Yo, what is up, dads?
Hey, yo.
What up? We are just four dads.
That's it.
That's all we
Right
are.
Not
here
five.
at this table.
Not three.
And it's wonderful to be here with you all.
Yes.
Today, we're gonna dig in a little bit. Continuation from the last episode, we're gonna go into the silent struggle. What's up with guys just not asking for help?
What is up with that?
What's
What's
wrong
up
with
with
us?
that? What's
Literally.
up with that?
What up with that? What's up with that?
That's a new segment.
That's a new T-shirt for Ryan. I got like 6 in the bank for
I
him.
know.
Sounds
me on
like
it.
only just four dads can solve that one.
Hey, let's go. Hop in the mystery mobile. All right. You guys are so weird.
No, you. We're not. You were fantastic.
Thank
You are
you.
out of
You
pocket,
were
Ryan.
fantastic.
Keep going, bro.
Keep going, bro. So, next episode, we're going to try to do Secret Santa. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll figure it out off air. And, yeah, we'll do Secret Santa because it is Nick's favorite time of year.
It's Christmas time.
Christmas time, baby. Put the lights up. Put the tree up. Mariah Carey on repeat.
Speaking of lights,
You hate Christmas, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We're here for you, buddy.
It's canon.
I tried to put some lights up today. I spent 30 minutes wrapping some lights around the post of on my front porch, and didn't think to check the lights before I did that.
Oh, rookie mistake.
Ouch.
Did one post, it was good. Second post does not work.
Sick.
So yeah,
Just got one post on the
how it
house.
is.
Just wasted 20
You know
minutes
what?
of my life.
That's okay. Dad win, dad lost, daddy hack.
That's a
That's
loss.
a dad loss.
That's a
That's
loss.
a huge L.
That's a big L.
got
Check
a
the
dad
bulbs.
win.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So check this out, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever played Dungeons and Dragons. Anybody raise of hands?
D&D.
No, nobody. D&D.
Sorry. Haven't.
Okay, so me and my son just started his first Dungeons and Dragons campaign with me as his dungeon master, and it has been so fun.
Are you going to time it out to where like you finish when he's 18 and he graduates and moves out?
No.
Okay.
So if anybody, the people that don't know Dungeons and Dragons, you're probably like, this is super weird. But basically, I've created this fake world, and my son has created this fake character. He's actually a half lion, half human fighter.
Oh, heck
And I've created this story that he gets to interact with and roll dice based on decisions that he makes. And it's been super fun because he gets to learn about storytelling, problem solving. He can do math. He takes good notes. And Nick, you have a question?
Which half is which?
He is a lion. Okay.
That's a great question, Nick.
Great question.
I'm sorry.
I meant like
I need to know.
meant like he's a lion who walks on his hind legs, like and talks like a
okay, so
human.
the bottom half is human. Top
no,
half is
it's
lion.
all lion,
False.
cognitively
Oh.
human.
Oh.
You need to specify
Yes.
this.
Now,
I'm
I was
sorry.
expecting
I
a
didn't-
centaur like.
Half horse, half man.
Yeah.
Half
okay.
horse.
I'm
So,
sorry.
like, the-
There are those. There are those in D&D.
Lion King.
A shout out to the people who know that song.
Four legs. So this is a sentient being, a lion that has gotten cognitive thinking and can speak, hold a sword, hold a shield.
That's interesting.
Walks
Why wouldn't he
onto
just
a-
have human legs if he's walking?
Listen, we can't go into the,
Let's
the
not get
minutia
into okay, guys.
today, buddy.
The point is, I'm trying to spend one-on-one time with my son. Can you guys get off my
He's
back?
got it, dude.
Okay,
That's sick.
listen. Me and
Go
my
ahead.
son every weekend we sit around a table and I play this like epic like Shire music.
Yeah.
And he's like, I go, hey buddy, you wake up, the birds are chirping. What do you want to do? And he goes, I go to the blacksmith. And I'm like, let's go to the, and we get to imagine this world together, and it's super sick. So if you want to know more about Dungeons and Dragons and how to be a better dad with Dungeons and Dragons, call your boy, because me and my
Yo.
son we're loving it. Loving every minute of it.
That's sick, dude. The dad's guide to the dungeon.
Yeah.
Such a great time.
I want to play with you.
Yeah, bro. Anytime. Hey, bro, if we want to play Dungeons and Daddies, I think that's already a podcast. That's already a podcast that I'll listen to, so we can't use that.
It's all good. There's
But if we ever want to...
no
Okay.
leather involved, no
Hey,
whips, no chains.
Just like Ryan said on the last episode, you might be getting a different audience.
Yeah, you might get a different audience with that one. But
Thanks right
we've
now.
lost it. We've lost it. I was going to play right there for a second, but we don't have to do that.
No, it's cool.
Let's
It's
wait
cool.
till the next episode.
Let's talk about the Fathers in the Fire.
Oh,
You got
Fathers in
any
the Fire.
dads to
Anybody?
Shout out.
Yeah, if
Nick,
I can
you got one.
regroup myself here.
It's okay. Bring it together.
What is Dungeons and Daddies just send you to a different
Yes.
plane of
That
existence?
sent me.
It did.
Roll a d20. Give me a charisma check.
Speaking of Dungeons and Fire,
Yeah.
okay. Fathers in the Fire is our new segment. And one of the guys that came to my mind, 2 of us know him, 3 of us know him, Brent Tipton.
Oh yeah, Brent.
What a G.
Brent's
So
great.
Shout out to Brent.
Yeah, shout
Brent.
out Brent Tipton. He
Go Gate
kind
City.
of just came out of the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so dude was full-time coaching a football team and being a dad and husband, 2 kids. And really shout out Taylor.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly, that's
I
probably
mean, mothers in the fire,
yeah,
right?
for real. Shout out Team Tipton.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine what it'd be like to go to work. Okay, after work, you go coach a football team for 3 hours. Then you stay afterwards and do laundry. Like, and then you get home at what time?
Yeah.
I mean,
ridiculous.
for how many months
I mean,
straight?
August to
Many.
hopefully
but
December.
You've got
Not
I
us,
know.
though.
I mean,
But
when
you
you
get
get-
summer workout. I mean, you're over half
Yeah.
the year.
Mhm.
I
So
mean,
when you get home,
invested
your
in it.
kids are already in the bed.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah, shout out
that's-
to Brent.
Shout
So-
That's a
out
fire.
Brent.
Yeah, shout out to Brent. He just came out
Way to
and
keep it
actually
going.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I did see like Taylor
Can't
put
say
up a
that.
story of him,
We're
him and
gonna
his
edit
and Brent. So it was Brent, Jack, and Tate. They were all in I guess it was like a
Hunting
blind
cabin.
or
Yeah,
hunting
blind,
cabin or whatever, and they were all like scouting out
Yeah,
like
dude.
some deer and
Yeah.
stuff. I was
Spotting
like,
deer,
that's
yeah.
cool. He just came out of football season. He's already getting to make up for that time that he lost. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Nice.
shouted him out.
Yeah, he's a G.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a
Very
homie.
cool.
He's a
Right.
homie.
love you, Brent.
Love you, Brent.
Keep going, brother.
One of these days he's going to be on the show. By the
Yeah,
way,
he's actually the 5th dad. Like, he is the ringer if one of us, like, pulls a hammy or something, you
Yeah.
know? And we can't come to the pod.
He's the
like, we call
substitute
Brent.
teacher.
Yeah. We call Brent for the substitute dad.
Bring him in.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's dig in. We're going to talk about, first up to bat here, silent struggle. Mm-hmm. Why are we twisted in our heads and we have a hard time reaching out for help? Fear of being seen as weak, believing this is just what a man is, the cultural expectations. There's just a lot of societal, the way things are put together. I kind of hate it. Me and my wife were just talking about this like it's a man's world. And we were just talking because she's like, yeah, I had to give birth to these kids,
you're
right?
You're not
And now that she's, you approach the next phase of life and like your hormones change again, she's like, what the heck have you done, Ryan, to contribute to this family? And I was like, babe, nothing. I
Love
don't know
ya.
why I got the life I got and you got the one you have, but honey, I'm just here to try to help you out the best I
I
can.
love you, girl.
Like,
I love you to the moon and
Man.
back.
It's a
You know
man's
what? You're
world and
right.
it's twisted, Ladies do all the hard work. So.
Yeah, you should have said you should have your own podcast.
The 4 mommies.
Mommy.
Just for moms. I think we talked about this a lot last episode, and I think that episode was so good. Guys, focus in.
You don't need a
We don't need a side conversation. We're
Sorry.
trying to have a podcast here. We talked about this last episode, and I think we had a lot of really good discussion. But I think when I left the table after that conversation, I was really thinking about the silent struggle and where that pushes dads to go. So I'd love to hear your guys' feedback, but I don't know about you guys, but whenever, and you kind of talked about this last episode, when a reaction comes, usually an emotion follows. What then is the next step for us as dads, parents, whatever? Where do we go with that place? Unfortunately, I don't know if you guys are just stud dads, but I usually go to a little 4-letter word that I do not like, which is cope. Cope with video games, cope with food, cope with whatever you want to fill the blank with. And unfortunately, I think that silent struggle pushes dads into a place of unhealth, and it then continues that we talked about last time, that
cyclical.
guilt cycle that continues. I'm just this way, this is how I'll always be, I will continue. And then you just and then we see dads like literally blow up their lives, and it's like, what happened? And it's like, well, I was feeling bad and I coped with it, and it's just like, so I'd love to hear you guys' thought on just like, what can we do to kind of, or two, if you've done that, or if there's something in your life that you're like, I got to watch myself whenever these things flare up because I run to X, Y, or Z.
Yeah. I mean, as humans, we're wired to cope, right? Because if we don't, like, it's a survival mechanism, right? When you're going through stress or hard time or whatever it is, your brain automatically knows to go into survival mode, and it's going to do something to make it feel better. Right. And so a lot of the times, whatever our coping mechanism is usually not healthy for us. And that could be, like you said, food is one, alcohol, drugs, porn, like you name it.
Yeah.
Like and this is real talk. I mean, this is stuff that,
Nobody talks about.
It's not comfortable to talk about any of that,
not.
any of those four words. Yeah. But it's real. It's real life. I know dads that struggle with these things, and I've struggled with some of them too. So it's like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, dads. Was that planned?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, was that planned?
And
Did we all just clam up?
who's up first?
Imagine that. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk
I don't
about
know.
it. We
It's
can
just-
have crickets here. Yeah.
How do you? It's really tough. Like,
Yeah.
it's because then we become part of that echo chamber of like, well, you do it, and then you sit with yourself, and then you think about it, and then you get better. And it's like, well, I mean, there's like little pockets of truth maybe, but it's certainly not easy. Like, I recognize the struggle in all of that because, everybody needs a way to cope, but it's like, maybe we can talk about what does healthy coping look like?
Absolutely.
Maybe that's a better spin on it.
Yeah. So I know I've said it a bunch on this podcast, and I think it is something that I should tell all dads all the time. But I have a counselor, and it's like the best thing ever. Like, it has just been such a blessing to my life, and I go to him with things that I'm coping with, and I lay those things kind of on his table, and we kind of work through. And what I think is really beautiful is he doesn't just look at the thing and he says, you do this thing and this thing is bad. It is, okay, why are you running to that thing? Let's work backwards to the root of that thing instead of focusing on the fruit of the thing in which it happens. And so, whatever it is, whether it's drinking, whether it's food, whether it's porn, whether it's like good things, which is something I think you brought up, whether it's escaping to golf, whether it's escaping to exercise, like we all, whether it's good or bad compared to whatever society says to us, we still cope. And so we work
want
backwards.
that dopamine hit.
We want the dopamine hit to fix,
and
to
we
make
need-
us not feel the way that we're feeling right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what I was working through with my counselor, man, it really got to this place, and I'm just going to be real with you guys, where the silent struggle always starts for me when I don't feel like I'm good enough for the arena in which I've been placed in, whether that's family, whether that's finances, whether that's work, whatever extracurricular activities. He was like, wow, you really think extremely low of yourself. And I was like, yeah, thanks. Is this what I'm paying you for? Appreciate it.
High pitch Michael shows up.
Oh, it just adds the humor
Now my
to a really,
finances suck.
really dramatic situation. He says, I mean, he's just being really honest with me. And he's like, you really think very lowly of yourself. And because of that, you say, I am bad, so I will do bad things in order to prove to myself that I am bad. And I even remember, like, I did this like 360 review at my work where it's like this, like my coworkers tell me like the things that I could grow in or the things that I'm good at, and all of the things, like, not to brag on myself, but everything that my coworkers just said was like pretty good, and I was like really mad. I was like, no, like I want people to tell me something that I'm bad at.
Justify these bad actions you're doing.
He was like, oh, you want somebody to tell you you're bad? Don't you think you tell yourself that enough? And I was like, thanks, doc, I'm paying you for this. But I think, again, we run to these things, but I think you really need to focus on, why do I run to these things? So we all have that silent struggle. All of us do in some shape or form.
Yep.
And I think the biggest lie is we think I'm the only one that struggles with this, so I can't communicate to anybody. Who can I talk to? So I'll just continue. I'll be better tomorrow. Usually I'm not.
We have my sister-in-law's now getting in early, and she's going to be landing in 15 minutes. So I would.
So Ryan's literally leaving the podcast right in the middle of the thing.
Can you stick around for like 5 more minutes?
No.
Oh.
My wife will be angry, and to be the dad and a spouse, I want to be.
Dude, this is
I
sick.
should go get.
Hey, man.
I got to go
You
pick up
too.
sister-in-law. We're filming right before Thanksgiving.
Can you give me a hug?
Yeah, I'd love to give you all hugs, dude. You guys can carry it on.
Dad
Keep
is
going.
literally leaving mid-podcast to be a good dad.
Wow, this is incredible.
Yeah, this is great. Good content.
This is life happening. Love you, bro. Love you guys. Big dog.
He was supposed to host this, so I don't know where we're
So
going.
now
All right,
Everything-
peace out, dads. Have a
Hey,
good
Ryan.
combo.
Take care, man.
Love you, man.
We'll send you the episode.
Yeah, I'll listen to you guys talk.
Listen
it's
back,
done.
Your
buddy.
insights.
When it's done, and I'm just gonna leave the seat here
Yeah.
empty. I'll be like, Ron,
Hey, Nick, go ahead and just Photoshop this. just keep it here.
he really
Well,
had nothing to say the whole
If
podcast.
Nick can make a website like that, he can Photoshop.
Yeah.
it.
See you,
I got
Ryan.
it.
See
Be
you,
safe,
Ryan.
man. I think it's really important that you mentioned that you have a therapist or a
Yeah.
counselor, because I think that's really tough weight to carry for a spouse.
Yes.
Right. I think there's some things that my wife needs to talk to somebody else about that she shouldn't really talk to me about. And there's solutions that you're figuring out and problems that you're solving, how you work and how, you're going on your journey that do not need to weigh on her. That I think is very healthy for your marriage and your relationships.
Yeah.
So, because I think when you come home and you're like, just drilling your spouse with word vomit and just all your issues or problems, it's really exhausting.
Yeah.
And then when they're trying to give you, like we talked about, we're trying to give an answer, or we're trying to fix something, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I just
And then
need you
you're-
to listen. So I think it's super healthy whether you have a therapist or you've got dudes that you can go to. Your wife has girls who she can go to or a therapist. I think it's super healthy.
Yeah.
I want to state and point that out. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
'cause-
that's a
and,
win.
and I think too, to add, it's not that I don't share it with my spouse, but I get
Right.
all of the
Thanks for clarifying. Yeah.
the hit fire comments out to the therapist, the vomit, the
Yes.
things that are just like out of this world, like
triggers.
crazy trigger,
Yes.
crazy things that have come from trauma, from past childhood experiences, all that stuff. I get to throw that at my counselor because I'm literally paying him for that, and then I get to go to my spouse and be like, "Man, me and my counselor talked about this thing, and we came up with this solution." And then my spouse is like, "Oh, like that's really great. Like I didn't know you were struggling with that." Alyssa's like, "Wow, like." Oh, I understand now when you get defensive in this situation, it's probably coming from a root that's actually means this thing because you work through that with your counselor instead
And
of
it's
being
not
like,
you.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
being like, what the heck are you doing, sis? Like
Right.
instead of, but I get to throw all that at him. We work through it, and then I get to present that to my wife and be like, man, I've been working through this. And she's like, hey, I'm with you in this, instead of trying to receive all that and then walk forward in that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So where do you go when you're coping? Like, does anybody want to talk? I mean, I go to some things that they might be unhealthy, in terms of just not adding value to my life.
Yeah.
Maybe they're bringing me down, or they're just kind of putting me into more resentment or whatever that looks like. But I think there can also be good things.
Yeah.
Like we can really use it as golf as an
Hunting.
outlet or escape, hunting, fishing,
Exercise, Ron said.
anything that could be good for us. And I think you need to look at your motive. What is the motive behind it, and then go from there. Because if you're just going into the garage to get away from your family and not really working on a project or cleaning up, you gotta figure out what's you need to address.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you're just going to do yard work. And
Oh
you
yeah,
have-
I think anything
You know.
anything that's going to give you that dopamine hit, but is going to be positive, right? Like for example, basketball on a Wednesday night after church, like
Yeah.
that is a huge dopamine hit for me, and it's positive because I'm getting exercise,
Yeah.
and you're not doing something negative to
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Whole
that's-
box of Cheez-Its down the hatch.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah, that's so good. I think something that, and I'm just gonna get real with you guys. Like, I think this is why we created this, and yeah, it's gonna go out to the public, but like, I don't care. So, but something as a kid, I was 11 years old, and my granddad passed away, and the only thing I had in my hand was a Playboy magazine, and that was the thing that was not given to me, but something that I had access to, that was able to. I feel something really bad right now. What am I going to do with that bad feeling? And so I ran to this thing and created this really unhealthy relationship behind closed doors with this thing that has really just tainted and been a part of my life ever since. I mean, that was, gosh, I was 11 and I'm 32. Like that's a long time, And so, yeah, there are the good things, but there's also the bad things. And luckily, like I've had community. My wife knows every fall, everything that trips me up throughout my day. I have my counselor that I go to. But if I'm not aware of those things, and I take one step in that direction and I keep it hidden, then I take another step in that direction and I keep it hidden, then I take another step in that direction, I keep it hidden. Like, you guys have got to be careful. Like, this silent struggle is so real. I've struggled with anxiety, I've struggled with depression, I've struggled with pornography, I've struggled with suicide ideation. Like, if you take a step down that alleyway, be careful about the next step, because the next step's going to take way longer of a step than you ever asked for, and it's going to make you take another step that's way longer and darker than you ever thought you would be, and you're going to end up in a place like, how did I get here?
Yes.
How did I get here? And so I think that's just like, the silent struggle is real. I think we want to shine a flashlight on that, but also I just want to put a big caution tape and be like, please ask somebody for help, because whatever it is, like, it can literally be anything. If you're not careful, you will take a step that will take a step that will take a step that will take a step into a place where you'll look up years later and be like, oh no,
And
I'm too far gone.
Yeah, it could be your last step.
Yeah, I'm
literally.
too far gone and no one can actually help me,
Yeah.
which is not literally true, but that's what we feel. And so that was me personally, like, something I've, like, literally, it's been a thorn in my side since I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
And anytime I feel an emotion of sadness or I feel an emotion of grief, my brain has been wired to automatically think of this certain thing. And now I've built systems through community counseling and my relationship with my wife to where it's like, okay, I'm pretty safe, luckily, in this situation, but still, like, it's something in the dark that tries to grab on, because that thing in and of itself wants me to be a bad dad, and wants me to be a bad husband, and wants me to be a bad friend, and wants me to be a bad everything.
Yeah,
that
it's
I
not
feel
your
like
friend, it's your enemy there.
Yeah. It acts like my friend on the first step,
Yeah.
but it tries to kill me on the last.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby tiger.
Literally.
Yeah.
You gotta kill it.
Yeah. I think in the past, like I said in the last episode, like, childhood through high school, when I would have, let's say, that bad emotion or sadness or whatever it is, I would run to going to work out or, go shoot some hoops or,
Totally.
whatever it is to just, like, forget about that. But, like, since then, I feel like food is something that I run to. And I know a lot of people out there struggle with the same thing. I feel like since I've got out of college, it's a lot easier for me to just run to food because it's so easily accessible. And, being a parent and being married, like we talked about in the last episode, we just don't have the time that we used to have to just go exercise all the time. Like, it's not as easy for us to do that anymore. So it's a lot easier for me to just run to that. And so, like, I'm just now starting to learn, like, how to reverse that, cycle that I've been in, and that just, like you said, like, I'm not good enough. Like, I'm just going to do this thing because it makes me feel good, and I'm just...
This is who I am.
Yeah,
this is who I'll always
I am.
be, so I might as well just live in it.
I get caught in that trap of telling myself that this is just who I am. This is how I am now, and that's not true. That's not... that's not my identity. And that's not who God wants me to be. And so I'm just now starting to learn that and trying to reverse that cycle.
Yeah, dude.
And
That's
so
so good.
it's been a learning experience, and I'm still, like, learning a lot. And just pray for me.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
hard.
Like, and I think it's an identity thing. Like, at the root of all of the ugly fruit that produces in your life, or the things that you were silently struggling with or whatever, like, the root of that is usually an identity issue. Like, I was recently talking to a friend who struggles with addiction, like, in a different form, and he was like, at the end of the day, like, when that thing shows its face, the first thought that I have in my brain is, this is who I am, this is who I will always be, so why not just live into it? It's literally the thought. And so it's like, you have to reverse that and be like, no, I'm a dad, like, this is who I am. I'm this, I'm that. You have to remind yourself of who you are, and it's such an identity thing, because if not, you just run away.
Dude, thanks for sharing
it's
that.
so like, it's addiction. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it is. It's
replace
addicting.
porn and food with whatever you want to replace it with.
fill the
Drugs,
blank.
alcohol, like,
So,
sex, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
It's convenient. I'll share this. I struggled with kind of in my teenage years. And I kind of mentioned it last time. Like, my dad was like, "You were different, right?" But I struggled with just alcohol and drugs as a teenager, and you might not think that knowing me in my teenage years unless you hung out with me and did drugs with me, you know. So it's like did sports and things like that, so you wouldn't think that I would do that. But I think that was my coping mechanism when, you know, my parents got divorced, and, you know, just things that happened in my life, and I just dealt with it, right?
Yeah.
Or I didn't do drugs or alcohol to be cool. Like, I did it to feel good. Because that's the only thing that gave me feeling and that I felt good with. So that's what I cope with. And I think it's really important who you surround yourself with. This is why we're doing the Dads podcast. Because just because you dealt with something like that earlier on in life doesn't mean that you're not dealing with it now, or that you're not going to deal with it down the road. So I think it's really important that we have this community to lean on, because things are going to get hard in our marriage. Things are going to get hard with our kids. So we're not going to go back into, you know, what's comfortable or convenient or easily accessible, or something in the past, maybe in an old life, or what we used to identify with, or that things that brought us happiness in that moment. We're not going to identify with those things, and we're not going to go back to it, because we know life is just so much better, because of the people we have in it, because of the goals that we have set, and the life that we're living. So thanks for sharing that, because I don't know, I don't share that very often, but I think it's important to get it to our audience, and just kind of just be out in the open of whatever it is that you guys are struggling with, or that you've dealt with in the past. Find those good coping mechanisms that really just take you away from it, but get you to another level of
Find the good addiction.
Yeah, find that good addiction.
Yep.
But get you to another place in your life to have community, to have fellowship, to love each other, to you know, just take you to a different place that's meaningful.
Yeah.
You know, instead of going
And
back
too,
to
there's
those
probably
things.
dads that are listening to this that don't think that that thing is the thing that is actually the bad thing, or the good thing that is turning into a bad thing. And so it's like, I think it's just like, take a survey of your life. Like, where am I spending a lot of my money? It's a good question. Where is my time when I'm alone going towards? Where is my thought process when there's nothing going on running towards? And I think that'll easily bring to the surface something that may be a bad thing. Because again, like we were talking about, this juggling act, it is a very hard thing to do as dads and as fathers and as husbands and as whatever you want to do, like as workers. Like, you are constantly doing this, and when you drop a ball, you're going to feel something. You're going to feel an emotion. You're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like this. What is that thing that you run to? You really need to pay attention to that and ask people to join you and be like, hey, check me, watch me, make sure I don't do the things that I shouldn't be doing.
I think I want to mention one more thing with the silent struggle. You talked about how it can just like lean in, like just like one small step, and then it's boom, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And I think there's just things in our life, and I kind of wrote this down, that we pay attention to things that are loud in our lives, that are just in our face. Like, so maybe we'll pay attention to things that, like, our kids' needs, typically work, bills. Like, those are all tangible things that need current attention right now, and they need us, right? But then it's like, while we're focusing on those things, and we talked about this juggling act, but while we're focusing on those, then this is suffering. And then this is taking those small steps. Like, maybe because we're focusing so much on our kids, now our marriage is in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're focusing so much on just our job and maybe paying the bills. Now I don't have time to hang out with my kids or my wife or whatever. And then it's this cycle that we talked about. And then that's where we feel guilt. That's where we feel resentment. But we focus on those things, and then the silent killer of them all is just, it comes in and can really ruin us. So I think it's important that we understand and be aware of what is at hand out in front of us. What do we need to attack head on? But then if there is something that's creeping into your life, you need to identify it, you need to address it, you need to tell somebody about it, and you need to talk and communicate about it.
Please talk about it.
Right.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah,
like we
literally
keep
the whole
talking
point.
about community. That's literally like a lot of times just talking about it to somebody
man.
can solve the whole thing.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Yeah.
voicing it out loud and hearing yourself say it makes you think about it in a different way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Than if you were just thinking about it in your own head.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I talk to you about a problem, it makes me think, oh, like I never thought about that before. Or you may say something to me that makes me think about it in a whole new perspective. So just voice the thing to somebody else, be in community with others. That's what this is all about. That's why we have a website with a forum on it. Like
Like for real.
submit
Still a contest
something.
going on.
Let's start the
Hey, there is.
conversation. Just ask questions.
Yeah.
man.
I think the greatest thing in my life, literally the greatest thing in my life, is the people I've surrounded myself with. Because when I've stopped calling, people know something's wrong. When I've stopped reaching out, people call me and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, call me." And then too, anytime I have a big decision, it's like I call like 3 or 4 people, and one of them is around this table, you know, and it's like that, and that is such a relief to me, because it's like, man, I don't have to do this alone, and I think that's the lie that we believe, and that's the lie that we hear, and that's what makes it a silent struggle. And I think we just need to flip it on its head. It doesn't need to be a silent struggle. It needs to be a very loud struggle. Hey, your boy's struggling. I'm trying to be a good dad. I'm trying to be a good husband. I'm trying to be a good this. I'm trying to be a good that. I need help. Like, it shouldn't be a silent struggle. So,
Yep.
okay, so with that, we've talked about the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about the solution. Okay. We've talked about community. That's really great. And all that stuff is really good. But let's move into like kind of like, because I think I said this the last time, I think in the daddy hack. Are we still calling it that?
Yes.
Like,
At this point, it's
Daddy hack.
It's daddy
Let's
hack.
do it.
Let's just go with it.
gosh,
It's okay,
this
Michael.
is awful.
You'll figure it out.
Anyways, I think I said in the daddy hack segment last time that the Patriot, aim small, miss small.
Yeah.
And people always look at the person beside them that's at a different destination that they are, and they're like, "I'll never be like that person, so I'm just not even going to do it." Or I don't have an hour, so I'm not going to do it. I don't have 30 minutes, I'm just not going to do it. But what are some micro adjustments that we can implement into our lives in each of these different categories? There's so many, we can't even name them all. But what are some kind of the big ones that float to the surface that you've maybe implemented in your life that have kind of just helped you just turned the cruise ship in 1% of a direction in one way, that's helped you, whether it's habit stacking, life audits, I mean, whatever. Like, what are some things that you guys have kind of done in your own life that have helped you kind of in this building something new instead of doing the bad thing?
So I don't think this is something that we just are naturally have.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think that we naturally are just like, oh yeah, we're individuals who are just balanced. Like, we can just, we figure this out.
pretty well balanced.
Yeah, I'm pretty
You
well.
should see my calendar.
I'm pretty well rounded.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty well rounded here.
Yeah.
But I think it's a skill, and I think it's something that you really have to work at over time, and you have to create a habit. I think one thing that Taylor and I, and I said Taylor and I, like,
Yeah.
I just didn't say
Word.
like, oh, here's something that I do that really helps me balance this out. But like, we're married, fellas. Use your wife. No, I don't want to say use your wife. Let me rephrase that.
It was the pause.
Your wife is gifted.
Yes.
And way smarter than you, probably.
Yes, she's way smarter than me. She's got
Better
like
basketball player,
5
too.
brains more than I do. Yeah, she is. But I would just say work together with your wife to figure this out, because and the other guys that you
Yeah.
may be involved with. But like, I go to Taylor for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
The other night, it was actually really funny. We were laying down in bed, and we were just sitting there talking. And she's pregnant right now, for those of you who don't
Word.
know. Okay.
Let's go.
And she's exhausted. She's been really sick in the first trimester. She's in the second trimester now. But we're just sitting there, and she's like, hey, I just need... And this is where she's really good at, and I'm not. Because I don't tell it like it is with my, whatever I have going on. But she's like, hey, I just really need your help. Like I need, and I thought I'm like, hey, I'm walking around the house, I'm doing this, that. You know, we always just want to like pat ourselves on the back and be like, oh, I emptied the dishwasher.
Look at all that I did.
Did you see what I did? Like,
Took the trash out.
yeah, it's like, oh, really? You're my husband. You're supposed to do that. Like, she didn't say that, but it's like that's really how our wives look at it. Like, do you want a trophy?
Yes.
It's like, hey, I warmed this up in the
Actually,
mic.
Yeah,
Actually, I love it.
I know, right? But it's like, oh, I warmed this up in the microwave without looking at the directions, and I didn't have to ask you for how long I need to heat this thing up for. Dude,
It's on the bag.
what do you think?
Pat
What do
on
you
the
think?
back.
It's on the bag.
So we're laying in bed, and she's like, hey, I need your help. I'm really exhausted. This, that. And I'm like, dang. And I'm like, trying not to fall asleep because I'm too tired. And she's like, you're just falling asleep right now. You're not even listening to me. No, okay. All right, wake up. Wake up.
Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I said, here's what's going to happen. I said, let's sit down. I said, list out. And I was like, this is super elementary, but you're going to list out all the things that I'm doing really good, and you need to list some of the things that I need to work on and do better at. And it's so first grade. Mm-hmm. And then I said, I'm going to do the same thing for you. And so we just kind of looked at each other, and like, when you look at it, there's a lot of things that we give ourselves credit for that we are not doing at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
So it's like, I'm like, I freaking mow the yard. I do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, I really do not do a lot. And her list, I mean, could be super long. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you're not here when Brooks wakes up. You're not here in the morning. You leave before anything. I have to pack his lunch, this, and this. And so it's like, there are things that I did when he was first born that I'm not doing anymore. Mm. And that's affecting her, right? And it's making her more tired. So it's like, how do we go back to that? You know? So it's like, okay, there's a problem here. Let's go back, figure out what we need to do. But it's super elementary. We were laying there. I said, hey, let's do this. And I think we can get on the right track now. Mm-hmm. But we've both got to work together.
Yeah.
And have effort towards it.
That's powerful.
I would hate
to see my list.
that
Oh
list,
gosh, it's very humbling, fellas. Like just
but for my wife, I'd have been like, you are slain in
she
all.
would need,
of
no.
this.
These need to be measurable things.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are
She
not
would
like
need to
you were
use-
awesome. You
You were so good looking.
yeah.
She would need to use her iPhone so that she could
So-
just keep going.
Yeah, just
the
scroll.
page doesn't run out.
Yeah, it just
keep
keeps
listing.
the
Yeah.
infinite note. That's
Yeah.
really good, bro. I think I'll put that into practice. That's really good for me to hear. And I think something that we really need to establish is, I think, again, I'm such a harker on this, but like, if we're not careful, we put this ladder in our lives that we feel like we need to keep climbing, and then one day we're gonna reach some destination that's like perfectly and peaceful and all this stuff. Like, bros, that's just not reality. Like, you're not gonna ever be the perfect dad. You're not ever gonna be the perfect husband. You're not ever gonna be the perfect person at all. And so, like, don't implement these things in your life thinking like, this will make me the thing that I've always destined to be. No, this is just going to help you a little bit. And then you're going to run into something else, and you'll need something else that'll need to help you a little bit. And then you'll run into something else you'll need help in a little bit. So I think I really want to be careful not to just be like, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, like, you're going to
Your
get
life is drastically gonna change.
Like, this isn't a self-help podcast. This is like, we just want to be
journey.
good dads.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is a journey. And I think that's the most beautiful thing. We said that. I think we said that in the very first
I think
episode.
we say that in all the episodes, but like
Yeah.
this, we're all on a journey of becoming. I say that over and over again, but it's true. We're all on a journey, and like, how many times have we been on a journey and we reached the destination and we're like, oh, like, the destination is like,
Now the next journey.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school and I won the state championship,
Whoa.
I went home and I went to bed.
You won
that night.
it.
I went home and I went to bed that
Yeah.
night, and I was like, that was pretty mid.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
But the stuff that I remember was being in the locker room with the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
The 7 a.m. practices.
Yeah.
Like, the journey of going to that state championship is what I remember and what I will cherish forever. Not winning the trophy.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book reading a book right now. Well, it's like 5 books, but it's a fantasy book. I'm into Dungeons and Dragons, if you didn't know. But it's called In the Way of Kings. Or anyways, it's the Stormlight Archive. If you look it up, Brandon Sanderson, it's really good. It's really big, but it's really great fantasy, epic. But one of the things they always say in it is journey before destination. If you focus on the destination, you're going to miss the beauty of the journey. So journey before destination. And I've actually like kind of established that in my own mind of like, man, like the valleys and the mountaintops. Like when I go on a hike and I turn around, I'm like, whoa, I walked up. I don't like going on hikes, so I don't do this very often. But it's like when you go on a hike, you like turn around and you're like, whoa, like I walked all the way up here. And then it's like, well, now I got to walk all the way back down, you know? And I think we said that to Ryan in the last episode. Mm-hmm. I hope he said there.
Safe,
yeah,
buddy.
please drive safe. Was that vegetation happens in the valley. Like if you see the biggest mountaintops, your Mount Everest or whatever, there's no trees and vegetation and life up there.
Yeah.
It all flows downhill, and everybody's
Yeah.
always trying to get out of the valley, but
Yeah.
it's like, man, like
I mean, think about the people who climb Mount Everest. Like,
Yeah.
you spend all that time climbing up there, and you're up there for how long at the summit? Seriously,
yeah.
5 minutes?
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know.
Yeah,
I don't know
have no
the.
idea.
But like, you're up there for
Never
5
been there.
minutes. You spent days,
Yeah.
maybe weeks climbing this mountain.
Yeah.
And you're up there for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and you got to go right back down.
It's good.
Well, it's like they asked Tom Brady, they're like, what's the most important Super Bowl, or what's your favorite Super Bowl? And he said the next one.
It's so sad.
And it is sad, but it depends like how you take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is he so focused on just like winning and not enjoying the process, or is he so in love with the process and the drive to
Yeah.
like, boom, I'm addicted to winning because of the process and the
Yeah,
the journey
it's great.
there.
Yeah.
So he a lot of those guys who are
Nick
elite level
Saban's,
athletes,
Tom Brady,
it's
Kobe.
the winning, right? But I think it's the winning, but that's only a small portion of
Yeah.
it. The victory is in that journey that you're
Yeah.
taking.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's get like really practical though. So you said that audit with your wife. I think that's really good.
It's important.
That's very important.
We've done like Sunday night check-ins too,
Yeah.
of like just sitting on the couch, like Brooks goes to bed, and then it's like we just kind of look at our calendar for the week. Like we have a Google calendar, that's a family calendar, so it's just Taylor and I and our family. So it's just like if it's not in the calendar, it ain't happening. So it just helps me communicate better because she's really good at that. So it's kind of like, I think we have like these built-in systems for me, to be better. And she like presents it in a nice way. So, but like
Shout out to Tay.
yeah, shout out to her. But like we have these, these talks to, we on those Sunday night reflections, like we'll review our budget and look at it, how it looks like for the month. And then, we'll sit there, read or pray or whatever, with each other. But sometimes it's just like a 10-minute check-in, like, how's your heart? How are you doing? What do you need help with this week? What are going to be your late nights at work? Et cetera, et cetera. And then just like plan, ready, break.
Yeah.
It's
good.
Big thing too is like just listening to your body. Like a lot of times your body's going to tell you if something's out of whack. Like if you're, stretched thin in this area, like we were talking about earlier, the balancing, juggling thing. Like if you're, let's say your physical health is really good. Well, this thing down here is struggling. Like you're going to know that. Like your body's going to send you signals and stuff. So just pay attention to those things.
Yeah.
And that it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. I know one thing that I've done with my work, and I know like some people just have jobs that are way more strict than mine. So I don't say this is like a cookie cutter, blanket statement, like everybody should do this. But one thing that I've done is I don't have notifications on my phone when it comes to email or like Teams, for example. And to everybody, I work basically on West Coast clock, which is really weird. We don't need to get into all of that. But like when my 5 o'clock hits, like East Coast time, everybody on the West Coast knows that Michael's not there. Like if they try to call me, I'm not picking up the phone. If they try to, and it's not that I don't care about my job. They know that I care about, I'm being present somewhere else. And if it's really important, like they'll really text me and be like, we really need you to pick up the phone. But if it's not, they'll know, okay, I know Michael tomorrow at 9 a.m. East Coast time is going to get on to that issue or problem. So I've kind of set those boundaries in my life to where it's like, and again, like I said, some dudes probably have jobs that are way stricter than that, and they can't do that. But I think it's really clearly communicating to your the person that you work for, your boss or whatever. It's like, hey, these are my expectations when I get home, and if that's a problem, we need to talk through that. But I want to be really present when I get home. So this, that, and the other XYZ. That's been something that I've done. And then also too, like saying no and not feeling guilty. I'm a big FOMO guy. So like whenever somebody calls me and they're like, you want to do this? I'm like, heck to the yeah, my brother, And Alyssa's like, we have family and like, you can't go do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But I think it's like saying no, not thinking, oh, I'm losing in that relationship over here and winning in this relationship, but saying no without feeling guilty. I think it's something I struggle with, like, and I'm still trying to work through that. Like, I don't have it all figured out. But sometimes I'll literally have to say no to golf with 2 buddies on a really, really sunny day in November. Well, you have a crazy work schedule, so it was more like 2 buddies.
3 buddies.
Yeah, 3 buddies. But I have to say no because there are other things that needs me to be present at, and that's okay. Like, that's great. So, what about other micro adjustments? Anybody else have any? I see habit stacking on here.
Habit
Anybody?
stacking. I think that's something we touched on the last episode of like
a little bit.
The small wins.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was referencing is I know we're all in kind of people. So it's like, oh, well, I need to work out for 30 minutes. Or like, I know we were on a reading plan together, like talking.
I haven't finished it. Robbie's finished it already.
I'm not even close.
Are you still in the Old Testament?
Yeah. Yeah, guys, it's November.
Robbie's finished the Bible.
So, anyways, yeah, so the whole point is I'm a person who's like super all in. So it's like I would take 2 hours to read our stuff. Yeah. And that's just not how I can work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I didn't read at all.
Right.
You know? So it's like, well, just read 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the habit stacking because maybe that 5 minutes turns into 20 minutes.
Yep.
And really, on my side of things, it was maybe I was reading for 15 minutes and then scrolling for 5 or 10, or I got a text or a phone call from work, and then it's like, oh, I never got back to it.
Yep.
You know, so it's like these small wins can add up, and these habits can
snowball down the hill.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One struggle that's really real for me is sugar addiction. And when I like basically try to get control of that, I always think I got to go all out. I got to quit it altogether. You know what I mean?
Like,
so like no sugar for a month, and like I'll tell my sister, like, you want to go with me? Like, we'll do no sugar, whatever. And that's just not the way. That's not realistic. It's insane. It's just not realistic. Like, some people can do it, and I have done it for like, I did it for like 2 weeks, and it was awful. Like, I was depressed. It's just bad.
No, for sure.
Really bad.
No, it's a real thing. Yeah.
Imagine.
People struggle with it. Yeah.
But anyway, my point is, I've tried that and failed so many times. But making a micro adjustment, like recently, I've just started like fasting in the morning. So like I'll skip breakfast, just do black coffee in the morning. That'll get me to lunch, and just that little micro adjustment. Because before, like, you know, in the mornings I would have something sweet, and that would just start my day off wrong. Like it would just be like a snowball effect, like you were talking about. And so just making that little micro adjustment of, okay, I'm going to wake up and fast in the morning, drink black coffee, get me through to lunch. And then, like you said, that kind of snowballs into, oh, well, maybe I can go work out during lunch.
Yep.
You know, like it helps you to
get something healthy at lunch.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So just that snowball effect, little change makes a big change.
I think I'll transition this from micro adjustments into the, I'm gonna have to say it again, Daddy Hack segment.
Yes. You love it.
So
You love it.
I read a book.
You love
so
it.
the Daddy Hack, I guess, is this book is really good. It's called Atomic Habits, and it's a pretty well known kind of book in the world. So it's hard to miss. But in it, he's talking about how a lot of people miss change in their life, like I was saying, because they view the end destination and they're like, I'll never be able to reach that and they try to do it completely. I want to run a marathon, so they go out and run 20 miles in one day, and then they like hate running forever because they pull all muscles and they just like, I'm never going to run again. And so he's saying, how can you habit stack? And I think that's where that kind of comes from. How can you build upon these little things that will actually turn into a big thing later on? So one of the things that I've tried to implement, I know I've said it a bunch of times, but I've been trying to work out recently. One of the things that I know that I have to do, and this is kind of that habit stacking, is I have to pack my gym bag the night before. If I wake up in the morning and I'm behind and I'm like, oh crap, like I have to take a shower and I have to pack my gym bag and I have to pack my lunch and I have to get left to school, I have to, it snowballs to end like, okay, the thing I can let go of is I just don't want to go to the gym because I need to do all these other things. But if I, the night before, set my running shoes out, set this out, put it in a bag, I pack my lunch the night before, that starts to build in on itself. So then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I know I'm going to work out this morning because Michael the night before has set myself up for the morning after. And so I think just little things like that, like you were saying, it's exactly what you did. You said no to this, yes to this, slowly but surely, which then will allow you to open up to say yes to something else that's better in the long run. And it's like whatever that may be, fill in the blank. Like what's the one little thing that will help you say yes to the next little thing that will help you say next to the yes little thing. So that book, From a Daddy Back segment, From a Daddy to a Daddy, is Atomic Habits, is really good. I really enjoyed that book. I want to be a better reader. I like books. So I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but at my desk, I office with Nick. We don't work together, but I office with Nick, and I'll set out a book and a highlighter and a pen on my desk so that I know when I come to work the next day, that's the first thing I'm going to see. And it's like, okay, I can take 15 minutes right before I start my work day. Again, obviously with some people's jobs, they can't literally do that. But it's like, okay, I've set this book out. I've set this highlighter out. I need to sit down and read. And when I don't do that, I actually don't read because of the book's in my bag. I forget about it. I get the ding on my watch that somebody's trying to call me and this, that, and the other, and I just run on to everything else. So It's like, how can you instead of like, oh, what do I need to implement? It's like, take a step backwards. Like, what can I start here that will actually help me later on down the road? Nice. So,
we'll put the link to the book in the description. Yep. We're not going to get paid for that.
Yep. And then another one, this is for all my Jesus bros out there, my Jesus dads. Dad Tired and Loving Every Minute of It. Dad Tired and Loving It, or something like that. I think it's Jared Lopez. He has a really great podcast called Dad Tired. It's so good. But that's from like a Christian kind of biblical perspective. Really great book. Just on like how to be. He's like got a lot of really good humor in it that is really relatable. And he just does a really good job about calling and who you are supposed to be, identity, and then in the midst of chaos, how do you like find that fine line of like, no, like this is who I am and this is who I will be for my family and for the people around me. So Atomic Habits.
Sounds like we need to talk to Jared.
Yeah, Jared's dope, bro. I would literally fangirl.
Jared.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Any dad hacks? Daddy?
I think we're good on that.
Daddy hacks?
I'm good.
We just got some books for people.
I think moving on to like tools for the toolbox. So our challenge statement for the week, or for this episode.
Yeah.
So I want you to write down or just like type in your phone, what areas are you thriving as a dad, and do it a husband too, or
Worker.
whatever work.
Physical
Mainly
dad.
as a dad. Okay, what areas are you thriving? What areas are you suffering at, or suffering in, or maybe you're lacking in? And then what's causing the imbalance, and then how can you take actionable steps and tell somebody?
Yeah.
Like you need to go tell another dad, which is why if you're not going to want to tell your wife or whoever else, you can literally submit something to our website for these
form.
reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Or send us a DM.
And
like
this
if
is
you're
like-
too embarrassed to put it on the internet, just send us a DM.
Yeah.
Like,
We'd love to walk with you in that.
yeah.
Yeah. And is there a way, like, if they want it to be confidential, like they don't want, hey, I don't want it to know that John came
I mean, they
into
can
this.
literally put whoever's name on the creative fake account.
Yeah.
Anonymous dad from Virginia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can create something like that,
Yeah.
or like personal message us and just say, hey, like, don't share this one. That it's from me.
Need help.
I want you to share it. but don't say it's from me.
Yeah.
Like we're
Would
cool
love
with that,
bro.
Do that if something like that's holding you back and you feel like you can't take that next step to tell your spouse or somebody else out loud. Start there. But that's the challenge segment kind of for the week for tools for the toolbox to step back in. So what areas are you thriving? What areas are you lacking in as a dad? And then how are you having that imbalance and then taking those actionable steps, telling somebody.
Yeah.
And then kind of closing, we're going into our next episode the next time we meet up.
And we do Secret Santa, which completely blew at the beginning of this.
We butchered that Secret Santa. But we're going to do a continuation and deeper dive into how to identify your core priorities. So we're really going to focus on the priorities in our life and build routines. So these are more actionable steps to keep you grounded in life when it gets chaotic.
To give a little bit of a teaser into the next episode, which we're going to title Priorities.
Yeah.
So priorities are things that you have sat down with your wife and you've listed out, okay, our priorities are God, family, education, finances, whatever it is.
Yep.
Those are your core kind of values, so to speak, and that dictates where everything else is going to flow from.
Yeah.
And all those plates that you're juggling and balancing, having priorities in place is going to help you do that juggling act better.
Yeah. Amen.
Absolutely.
That's good. Yeah.
So
That's great. Man. Can't wait for it.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed hanging out. Ryan, I hope he made it. Did anybody hear from him?
yeah, and I haven't got a text yet.
Maybe we should hit him up. But no, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for joining us.
Get on that
We just love
website,
hanging out
make
with
an
you.
account, join us in the forum, talk to us,
Let us know
send
you're
us a
listening.
DM.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're from. We'd love to help you any way we can. And I say it all the time. You're the only one made for the job, but you don't have to do that job alone.
I love that.
For the dads. No! Just for dads.
Just for dads.
Just-
Calm down.
just
calm
for
down.
dads.
That's
bro.
copyrighted.
Peace.
All right. Love y'all.